Well, Thanasi, Fastlane is this weekend, and we've got five matches announced so far at the time of recording. So the predictions might not be very long, but let's just go into it. And to start off with, we're gonna go with the megastar LA Knight with John Cena tagging against the Bloodlines Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa. Uh, I'm gonna just pull my money out there, and I'm saying that you got to bet on the two baby faces here.
Yeah, look, I have to agree with you. I think it's very simple. Solo and Jimmy have not been portrayed as main event level in the same way Jey Uso is portrayed. So when you've got a real main eventer with history like John Cena and someone that's being portrayed as a main eventer like LA Knight, they've just got to get the win. So baby faces are the prediction.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're agreed on that one. Let's see if it continues in the next prediction, which is Io Sky versus Asuka versus Charlotte Flair in a triple threat match for the WWE Women's Championship. Is
I
this champion retains or
I am going to be my cynical self and say that even though we need to see the completion of the Io Sky and Bailey angle involved in the championship, as
yeah?
soon as you see Charlotte's name on the card for a title match, I just have to predict her, unfortunately.
I'm not going to be as cynical on this one. I think Io is going to retain, and that's purely because I think we got to see a good singles match between her and Asuka at some point, and we especially need to see the one with Bailey. Now, I fear rather they're not going to do the latter as a title match, and I'll just do it as a as a rivalry, as a faction imploding thing.
It's a grudge match.
But I would love it if it was for the title because I think that would add that extra spice to it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, next up we have the LWO versus Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. This one's quite interesting. I wouldn't have thought of this as a pay-per-view match, to be perfectly frank, but it's here. It's not going anywhere. So how do you see this one playing out?
Look, I think to put things very simply, in order to continue the momentum of the Street Profits, I think they do need to get the victory, and with Lashley involved as well. With definitely with some heel tactics, I think it's going to be a dirty win. So they're not going to. I don't think they can have it opening the show. Certainly not even in the semi main or potentially in the semi main in order to get a big pop at the end of the night. But yeah, I do see it as being as a heel victory on this particular one.
I agree. And it's also because they're so new. Like the LWO has been enjoyable, but with the exception of Santos Escobar, it hasn't elevated the rest of them like in the males side. So like they're not gonna they're not gonna gain much from this win, nor will they lose much at this certain point in time. Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits are riding the momentum wave. So if you have them losing now, they're just gonna come crashing back down. And it's just gonna make us feel like what were the last 3-4 weeks about? If you're just going to have them lose. And Bobby Lashley, just on his own, is a dominant wrestler that really shouldn't be losing that many matches. So when you combine that with the fact that they are the new faction coming around, I think it's almost elementary, isn't it, that they've got to win. All right, well, the other match we've got is the Judgment Day versus Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships. I'm going to say that the champions retain. And actually, I think just quickly, do you agree?
I agree because Mommy's back and she's told them to get in line. So surely we have to retain.
Okay, well, because I think just something I want to add on this match is just Jey Uso is meant to be main event Jey Uso, the guy that breaks away from his brother in the tag division and actually starts to blossom and become his own man as a singles star. And they've got him now wrestling with Cody Rhodes for the tag team titles again. What is the point? And Cody Rhodes, the guy who was about finishing his story, like at the very least, if a single star comes out and challenges him to a fight, he can say justifiably, "Okay, I'll put my title plans on hold to fight for my honor." But now he's just fighting a random guy for the tag titles. Like, what is the point?
Look, the way that I see it is this recurring motif we've been talking about where it's Judgment Day, KO, Sammy, Cody, and now Jay that just kind of represent the main event scene of Monday Night Raw and they just kind of throw them together for matches.
course.
It's bleeding now, not only from the weekly show Monday Night Raw, but it's bleeding now into the pay-per-views. And there's just nothing interesting about it for me. And that being said, this is one of the 2 Raw matches. So this is the best they could do after the World Championship.
Look, it's frustrating to me because I think all of these talent should have other bigger plans.
Certainly.
But like, okay, well, just let the Judgment Day retain at the very least, because otherwise it's going to be way too weird. Now let's lead into, I think what's fair to say of these matches is like the one with the most intrigue and the most interest, and that is Seth freaking Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura in a last man standing match for the World Heavyweight Championship. So that's it. How do you see this going?
Look, as much as I would like to see Shinsuke Nakamura as a viable option as a world champion, I think he's just going to be a very, very strong and an excellent performing number 1 contender, if I can put it that way. I think that's how we're going to see it.
Yeah.
But I'm more keen to watch this match from the perspective of the storytelling in it, with the back and the last man standing element, rather than the result, because I can tell you with confidence that Seth Rollins is going to retain.
I'm going out on a limb. I backed him at the last pay-per-view, and I'm backing him here. I think Shinsuke will get the win against my better judgment, which is saying that it just feels like Seth will retain for the time being. I'm just going to give it. I'm going for it. And look, it's a bit of a stretch, and last man standing matches typically are a chance for the heroes to overcome the odds. But I just think like at some point Seth's going to lose the match because of his back. Like it's just a matter of when and to whom. So I'm making the bold prediction that when, Fastlane, to whom, Shinsuke Nakamura. So that's my prediction, and we'll see how it plays out.